review of Life with Chessie for the Bold and Beautiful August 5th, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. Look, they had to leave us with the little cliffhanger. The good on filling the doggone water. Y'all was right. Y'all was right. But hold on. Let me fix this first. Let's see. Where it is? Uh-oh. Okay, there it is. Okay, like I was saying, first thing first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. Did y'all like it? Did y'all like the cliffhanger? Let me know. Okay, so what we started? Where did we start? We was right. We was right. Grace over here cutting on people for no doggone reason. Look, I should wait till y'all get up in here because I want to know how y'all felt about today's new episode. But yeah, this girl don't sit up here and drew this doggone line. I knew when she drew that line. No, before she drew the line, she said her colleague, what she said his name? Dr. Alikari? Dr. Alikari? I don't know. Whatever she said his main name was. She said he was going to be the one to perform the doggone surgery. That was the first doggone red flag. When they showed her or whatever, they didn't have no doggone team. There was another red flag. Then she told him to pass her the scalpel. There was another red flag. Then she drew a doggone line down there or whatever. I was like, I don't think that's how it's supposed to go. But yeah, it was revealed on today's new episode. Spoiler alert. Grace faked the whole thing. Leon was never sick. He was never dying for cancer. She faked it all. He never had a mass. He never had a tumor. She a liar, pants on fire. And the reason being is because her daughters were being threatened. I knew it. I said it had to be. That's why they kept saying Reese. And he had this gambling debt and all this other stuff. I said, yep. There you go, y'all. Hold on. But okay, so today's new episode, we're going to start with Brooke and Nick. Let me flip over to my notes, y'all. They showed Nick and Brooke. I think they were sitting down eating or something like that. And he was saying something about he was waiting on the weather to clear before they went out there and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't think Ridge had went looking for her yet. But yeah, Ridge was talking to Eric. And he said something about he can't believe Nick going to propose. Said he not going to let Nick ruin Brooke's life or whatever. And I said, can't be no worse than what you done already did, sir. And I had been asking y'all. I don't know. I can't remember if anybody ever said or not. If Nick was actually the bad guy that him and Eric, that Ridge and Eric keep making him out to be, because I don't know, because I wasn't watching back then. But yeah, he was like, he not gonna let Nick ruin Brooke's life. I said, well, it can't be no worse than what you got going on. Then Eric over here, he over here talking about, you want me to come with you? What you gonna do? You want me to come with you? What else did he say? He was standing there. I thought they was gonna show Ridge calling to say that they had said something was wrong with the boat or something like that. He told me, I can't just stand around here or whatever. I gotta go find Brooke. Where you about to go find your son and Brooke in the water? Hold on. But yeah, where else? Hope, they show Hope taking care of Liam, says Liam alive because of Grace, and they would just have a conversation about that. Finn ends up talking to Grace, and he was saying how Liam treatment wouldn't cost that much. He wants answers or whatever. I said, well, I would assume that it would, in real life, it would cost about that much, the way they be charging this stuff, especially if you ain't got no insurance. But yeah, he was like, it shouldn't cost that much. And he just had a lot of questions, a lot of concerns. She always talking about, so she got a busy schedule. She can't answer no questions. I said, you make yourself look guilty. I mean, you been made yourself look guilty. It's so many doggone red flags or whatever. I was like I was saying at the beginning of this, first of all, there was no team. And she told me they had to sneak out the hospital. They had to sneak out the hospital. They had no team. He had to hurry up and pay the money. Hold on. She said the man was going to do the doggone surgery. And I think Bill was, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Bill trying to ask him some questions that he couldn't answer? I was like, it was so many doggone red flags. But yeah, it was revealed on today's episode. She faked the whole doggone thing. Leon was never dying. I said, I knew when he didn't die. I knew when he did die, he was never going to die. What the world? But yeah, let me see. Finn said Liam treatment wouldn't cost that much. He want answers. Liam and Hope say that Dr. Buckingham mean two different things, because Grace saved his life or whatever, but Reese nearly destroyed both of their lives by taking their daughter. Grace doesn't want, excuse me. Grace ends up telling Finn, I don't know what you getting at. You know doggone well what he getting at. You know exactly what he talking about. Thomas, I don't know what you getting at or whatever. Then, hold on. She's sitting up there playing like make believe and stuff, like she don't know what she did or whatever, like Finn just crazy. Then she gonna have the audacity to say, are you trying to imply that you wanted Leon to die? I was like, girl, not you trying to switch this over on what's his name, Finn. Talking about she tried to make it seem like Finn wanted Leon to die. I was like, girl, you just digging a further and further hole for yourself. But yeah, what else? Let me see. I already said Grace said, she doesn't know what Finn's getting at. Finn said it was expensive, but it wasn't necessary or whatever. He was just questioning her the whole time. They showed Ridge looking for Brooke. He ends up running into these guys. He heard Nick's last name. What they say his last name was? Maroney, I think. And I think they said something was going on with the boat. Looked like he was struggling to turn it or whatever. But yeah, the good on filling the doggone water. But yeah, Ridge was looking for Brooke. Brooke decided to get on the boat with Nick. I said, you don't know what's ahead, girl. You don't know what's ahead. Grace thinks that Finn's implying that they should have let Liam die. I was like, girl, save it. Finn says there's holes in this whole case because of the way she went about it. I said, exactly. She over here trying to switch the blame and stuff. Liam was talking to Hope, and he was wondering if, I said Liam. They don't supposed to say Liam. Finn was wondering if Liam had brain cancer at all. Let me scratch it out. And I was like, I had wrote down the question, but I know the answer now. I was going to ask y'all, did them people say something was wrong about the boat or something? But yeah, I know the answer to that because Ridge left a voicemail for Brooke warning her that something's wrong with the boat or whatever. Liam and Hope talk about what happened to them, losing the baby. Now, that's one flashback I feel like they did at the right time because we didn't just see, them finding out that their baby had died and stuff like that. So that was appropriate right there. Now, any other day, all these double flashbacks or whatever. But yeah, let me see what else. I already said Liam and Hope talk about what happened to them. Finn said Grace hasn't been the same for months, and he was just trying to get her to open up. I think that was when she was like, she busy. She got a busy schedule or something. She was trying to leave out of there. He had grabbed her, whatever. Finn said the incisions was way too small. I said, so she just cutting people her. He was like, it's too small for there has to been, a mask, her removing a mask or whatever. Because I know on other shows, they'll show them like they had it all around their head. The little cut all around their head or whatever. She done drew a doggone line down this man's skull. Hold on. Yeah, I said, so she just cutting people, huh? Oh, you like to hit people with trash cans. You just cutting people. Ridge tries to call Brooke, says don't get on the boat. There's something wrong with it or whatever, but she didn't answer. I thought at first they were going to show Nick looking at Ridge's call and ignoring her call or whatever. But Eric ends up saying he has to find Brooke. He can't just sit around there, and that's when they show him leaving. Hope happy they didn't lose Liam or whatever. Finn want Grace to admit it what she did. So she finally breaks down. She crying and stuff, and she admits it. I said, I knew it. I knew it long before you drew that doggone line, girl. She was like, she had no choice. She made it all up. She faked the whole diagnosis or whatever, and Finn wanted to know why. She was like, Reese had gambling debts, and they were threatening her girl, so she was desperate. And she's supposed to be telling him this week, not to say anything. Can't we just keep this between us? And he telling her she had to tell Leon the truth. And they supposed to be at Bill house. I'm assuming that's gonna be on tomorrow's episode, y'all. But yeah, what else? Ridge ends up seeing Brooke on the back of Nick's boat and stuff like that. He driving and everything. Look like he seen Ridge. And he trying to turn the boat or whatever, but it's not turning. And then I already said he calls out to her. She fell off the boat into the water. That man didn't waste no time. He jumped in that water at his woman, or one of them anyways. He jumped in the water, and that's when it went off. I said, they gonna leave us with a doggone cliffhanger. I was like, yeah, he gonna save her. But the question becomes, like, is this what's gonna lead them back to each other? Or is this gonna be like, oh, Brooke saw that, she almost died, so she realized she really don't want to waste no more time with Ridge. And they try to do this whole double wedding stupid stuff. I don't know. We'll see. A lot of people have been saying already the boat's supposed to been crashed or whatever. They also said that this is what's going to reunite Ridge and Brooke, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Excuse me.